now watching Color Me Crypto, Digital Cash Decoded. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
And if you enjoy the video, visit us on Patreon for exclusive content.
Yo, Color Me Crypto, let's go. Tales from the Dark Web. Today we're going to be talking about James Zhong. First and foremost, chapters are in the description with the timestamp. Just go to the description, click on the timestamp. You could skip around the video. But before you do any of that, please make sure you like, share, comment. The main thing for this video is going to be this guy who's from Georgia. He stole a bunch of Bitcoin, basically. If you want to read about this on your own, you can go into the description again. 100% open source intelligence, and the DoJ Press Release is in the description as well if you want to read the proprietary source, so which all the others pretty much came from. So let's go. Got a little news clip here from Fox 13
Bitcoin.
News.
Yeah, that's billion with a B, and we're not talking about the Powerball. This is stolen Bitcoin.
A man just pled guilty to stealing the cryptocurrency from the dark web from back in 2012. Fox 13's Kate Beery is joining us live tonight in Cooper Young,
We're gonna get into
investigating
how he
this
stole it,
all
too.
connects to blighted properties here in Memphis. Kate?
Darcy, fencing, barbed wire, even vines growing along the property. The plan was to turn vacant lots and blighted properties into vibrant living spaces. The only plan is that federal investigators say the primary investor stole the money that he planned to use to develop these properties. I just spoke with his managing partner on the phone, who told me he was shocked to learn that his investor was accused of stealing that money, and this is not the only property that the company owns.
So, from November 7th, so about 4 days ago, the U.S. Attorney announces historic $3.36 billion cryptocurrency seizure and conviction in connection with Silk Road dark web fraud. So, in November 2021, law enforcement seized over 50,000 plus Bitcoin hidden in devices in defendant James Zhong's home. Zhong has now pled guilty to unlawfully obtaining that Bitcoin from the Silk Road dark web in 2012. Again, we're going to get into how he did that. But before any of that, basically what he was doing was spamming like a link, a service on the Silk Road website in a certain like time frame, and it was basically an exploit in the service that he was able to basically trick into giving him free money. And then with that money, his plan was to work with Reed somewhere in here. Yeah, here it is. So first, his alias, like his I guess web handle, is Loaded. He pled guilty to committing wire fraud in September 2012 when he obtained over 50,000 Bitcoin from the Silk Road dark web internet marketplace. He pled guilty on Friday, November 4th, 2022, so he pled guilty a week ago. And this is the second largest federal seizure ever. Ever, like cryptocurrency, regular, like ever, I believe. So second largest, pretty big stuff. And the government is seeking to forfeit collectively 51,680 Bitcoin, his 80% interest in Reed Investments. So that news clip that we played a little bit earlier, that's actually what they were talking about, Reed Investments in Memphis. So 661,900 in cash. I got pictures of the cash as well, and various metals also seized from his home, which there are pictures as well. So before we get into all that, it was an internet market on the dark web from 2011 to 2013, and the FBI shut it down. And yeah, so Zhong used approximately 9 different Silk Road accounts to trigger over 140 transactions, which tricked the site's withdrawal system into releasing the Bitcoin into the accounts under his control. As an example, on September 19, 2012, Zhong deposited 500 Bitcoin into a Silk Road wallet. Less than 5 seconds later, after making the initial deposit, Zhong executed 5 withdrawals of 500 Bitcoin in rapid succession, within the same second, resulting in a net gain of 2,000 Bitcoin. So basically, one account puts in 500 Bitcoin, and then he has 5 other accounts withdraw 500 Bitcoin, and the system doesn't really know that, there's no Bitcoin, I guess, to withdraw. So Zhong called police and reported that he had many stolen assets, including a lot of Bitcoin. So here's his safe in the ground. He had cash in there, some metal coins and stuff. He had some I forgot what these are called. It's in one of my sources, which is in the description, but pretty much just some physical Bitcoin. And in this little coffee container here is where he had I believe it was a Raspberry Pi. It doesn't say Raspberry Pi specifically, but in the DoJ press release, it says a single board computer. And then when I see that micro SD card there, I'm assuming, and that looks like a USB toggle right there for maybe like a wireless keyboard. So I'm assuming it was a Raspberry Pi or something like that. But yeah, some crazy stuff. 661,900 in cash. Let's see. So they raided his home last year, November 9th. As we already said, they got all the Bitcoin. So he faces, basically the maximum penalty for him will be 20 years. His sentencing is scheduled for February 22nd. And he called 911 on himself. Beginning in or around March 2022, Zhong began voluntarily surrendering to the government additional Bitcoin that he had access to and had not dissipated. In total, Zhong voluntarily surrendered 1,004 additional Bitcoin. So, one of my sources said March 2019, but I went with March 2022 to go along with the, because that's the date that was in the press release. So, and here's some more pictures, some of his cash all, wrapped up. He got the metal. So authorities found the stolen Bitcoin and cash hidden in a single board computer that was stashed inside a popcorn tin and stored in a bathroom closet in Zhong's home. Authorities seized 662,000 in cash, physical Bitcoin, 80% interest in a Memphis-based real estate investment company with substantial holdings, and silver and gold-colored bars. So here's a tweet from @VXUnderground on Twitter. Previously, we shared the news about James Zhong, aka Loaded, who was arrested and convicted of wire fraud for defrauding online marketplace Silk Road of 1 billion. Is that 1 billion? Yeah, $1,049,989,971. And this picture here, which is honestly the only picture I could have find of him, it's Exhibit 5, Document 394, Tac 5. So this is like the only picture I was able to find of him. And thanks to VX Underground for that.
Or cause bugs. When race conditions occur, they depend on the sequence or timing of a program's processes. Otherwise, the race condition could disrupt the execution or cause bugs. Here's a basic scenario of a race condition. Someone with $2,000 in their bank account wrote 2 checks, check A for $1,000 and check B for $1,500. When the checks are deposited, a race condition develops, as the individual does not have enough money in their account to cover both checks. Sequential processing would ensure there is enough funds to process check A first before processing check B. But without sequential processing, both checks will be processed at the same time and the account will be overdrawn. Detecting.
So yeah, that's basically the exploit he did on Silk Road. That's the underlying theory how it worked. He made 2 withdrawals at the same time. The system didn't check to see if the funds were actually there, and it is what it is. So he was pretty much just spamming the withdraw button, as someone on Twitter that I read posted. So my final thoughts on this, it's funny, Bitcoin's only currency when it's convenient for the government. And also, second, he defrauded the Silk Road, which the FBI shut down. So, I mean, it's almost like, did the FBI want the Silk Road web administrators to get that money? But then again, I shouldn't say that, because Silk Road was shut down by the FBI, and I'm assuming they already took all the money. So I guess this kind of to them is like money that was stolen from the government in a way, because they shut down Silk Road and he stole it from Silk Road. So I'm not really sure how they look at it, but at the end of the day, if they want it, they're gonna take it. So also, the DOJ was gassing themselves up in the press release. If you read the press release, which again, link in the description, they're talking about, you know, it was thanks to the work of, you know, diligent efforts of, you know, their anti-laundering team and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, like he called police and told on himself. Like, this case has been open for 10 years. 10 years ago is when he actually committed this crime. So in 2012 is when he pretty much amassed this Bitcoin fortune. And only now in 2022, they're actually bringing him to justice or whatever. So it's just funny that the way they chose to go about it in the press release. What I was thinking to myself, why did he call 911 on himself? Maybe he wanted protection from law enforcement. Not from law enforcement, but he wanted the law enforcement to protect him. I kind of worded that poorly. Or maybe he's hiding from someone. So, like, you never know. Like, maybe they were able to track down who he was through the blockchain or something, the actual Silk Road. Well, I shouldn't even say that. The Silk Road's like owner, or who they say is the owner, the main sysadmin, he was brought to justice or whatever. So who knows? Who knows why he told on himself? I can't think of the reason why. So last question, why didn't he travel to a country with no extradition treaty with the US? For example, Russia has no extradition treaty to the US. And that's why Snowden, who I'm sure most everyone knows, he was able to, you know, flee to Russia, and Russia was under no obligation to, you know, force him to come back to America. So just a cool little story that I thought you guys might like. Here are all my references if you want to read about it on your own, but that's just my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please smash that like button, and if it's your first time on the channel, do subscribe. Much love. Peace. I might be heading back to work in a few minutes, but yeah, I thank you guys for clicking the link.